Okay, so we got Ryan Reynolds here, and it is, I'm sure you've heard a few Green Lantern jokes or something like that here or there.
Deadpool,
But
Deadpool's the one I get all the time now.
Deadpool, yeah, I don't know. I get there's so many of those movies. Cool, man. But I found Ryan um, on YouTube. He's got an awesome channel on telesales and has a lot of great content, a lot of great meetings and interviews, and it's really cool because I was able to like meet and learn about and connect with someone in the same niche of the industry as me, who's all the way on the other side of the country with totally different IMO, totally different company, but we're both like two bozos on the bus making it happen, doing our thing, hustling, and I respect your grind, brother. So I see the videos and I know you're the real deal. So what I wanted to do is just make it open and I like collaborating with other people in the business and learning from them and kind of their story, what got them here, and why telesales. Because telesales was like the black sheep of the industry, and then now COVID hit and everybody wants to sell on the phone. So, so tell us a little bit about you, man.
Well, first, I just want to say, Justin, man, you have an incredible channel as well, and it's an honor to be on here. And I think that, there's a lot of people that think we have to compete amongst each other, and it's not about that. The more we work together as a team and support each other, share ideas, the more we're going to grow. That's the philosophy we have over at my company, and I'm sure it sounds like you have the same philosophy over there as well. So, just an honor to be on here, bud. Thanks for having me. What was your first question?
Yeah, no, I was just yeah, cool little introduction, a little bit about you. Now, let me ask you, why did you choose telesales over field sales?
Um, I did field sales for 10 years, and I just got kind of bored of driving around all the time, and I was like, if I, a lot of people are starting to do the Zoom, and I just wanted the convenience factor. If I want to walk around the house, make a sandwich, still talking to clients, I could do it from the backyard, and it didn't really matter what my background was, where it was. And it's always been a dream of mine. I love to travel. So, just last week I went to Colorado, got to stay with a friend of mine, did some boarding in the morning, came back, got to work in the afternoon, and just the convenience factor of being completely remote sounded exciting. I've even sold a policy while snowboarding down the mountain one time.
That's
So,
awesome, bro.
that's pretty convenient, right? You don't have to have a computer, just
Yeah.
a Bluetooth, and you're rocking it and helping some families. So that's the reason why.
Awesome, dude. I love that. Similar to me, I didn't sell for nearly as long as you did. I just got into it pretty quick because I got my little dog here. Hey, Leia, come on, dude. Total wrong time for you to be barking at the delivery guy who's bringing us goodies.
So my dog barks in the background sometimes too with clients. I'm like, dang it, do something.
She's a little office mascot. Yeah. Leia, hey, stop it. Stop it. You are on one today. Okay. Back to it. I'll clip that out. Um, so were there any so you were in it for a while then. You were in is because I was in sales for years before I got into insurance, and then I did field sales for a little while, and then I got into telesales simply because South Florida traffic, I was like, dude, I just can't drive around this. This is too crazy, and I'm like, I can sell, I'll do it on the phone. So like was the transition hard, field to telesales, or
Yeah, it was. Anything you do new, it's just about confidence building, right? So, a lot of people had tried at the company I'm at now, telesales, and they failed at it. And, they said it couldn't be done. But once I got to a
yeah.
point where I was helping 50 families in a month, they're like, okay,
Wow.
maybe it can be done, right? And did a
Yeah.
podcast about it. And, then people are like, now it's out there, it's proven it can be done. People now have the vision or belief to think it is possible as well. So, at first, it was definitely hard. I think it took my first 2 weeks, and I don't think I sold anything. And I was like, "What? I'm really good at field sales. This is kind of weird." But I think it's
Yeah.
just because it was something new. Repetition builds confidence. Action builds confidence. So jump in head first and just keep doing it. Eventually, you're gonna relax a little bit. I think I was a little too needy at first. Really pushing to try to make a sale. And then once I relaxed, then the sales started happening. Once I started remembering that it's about believing in insurance first, not the sale, and then finding the
Mhm.
need by asking better questions, and all of a sudden the sales started coming.
I love that. I love that you said that, and I train my agents on that too. Like our agents, it's like I feel like the sales made in the fact finding, like as opposed to the close. Everybody's focused on how do I overcome this rebuttal, and it's like, bro, if you ask the right questions, you're never even gonna get it.
Right.
And if you dial in that way. And I like what you said there too. And for any new agents watching this or anybody looking to get into telesales, something he said that really stuck out and resonated with me is that he's like, I practice, practice, practice. Like he didn't make a sale for 2 weeks, and I'm sure he called a lot of people. So if you're out there just buying like a few leads expecting to get a sale, like you may be in for a rude awakening. And I recommend when people reach out to me, hey, I want to learn telesales, I'm like, good, buy a few hundred old leads, like, and just like crank through them. Because if someone's buying like brand new leads and they're paying top dollar and they've never been in telesales before, it's like, I'm like, get beat up a little bit, get your feet wet, get like some reps in, and then, go into it, because it does take that practice, and repetition is a requirement for you have to be frequent before you can be great. So that's six. So what do you recommend for someone trying to get into it in terms of leads or having that volume to be able to get those reps in practice?
There's tons of good scripts. So anywhere you're at, they're gonna have a script you can read. I think that if you think about it and you're trying to be professional, you guys are starting a business, and you've read your script one time, why would the client think you're
Yeah.
professional, right? So I would say the first.
Cool. So there's a bit of a hiccup there. We're back. We're on trusty old Zoom. So apparently the other high tech thing doesn't want to work here. So I guess we'll pick off. We were talking about recording, and I'll edit some of this out so it's smooth. We were talking about recording, listening to calls. What else do you recommend for a new agent to do? Any technology or any systems or anything that you recommend to make their life easier, more efficient?
Um, I mean, I use Calendly to book all my appointments. It's just nice because it shows it right on your phone. I don't really know if necessarily works really good for reminding clients to be at their appointments if you're scheduling appointments. I feel a personal text in the morning works best. Just something simple like, "Hey, Bob, it's Ryan. Just reminding you, of our phone call appointment today. Expected call between 3 and 4 from this number." And a personal text seems to work the best for at least getting people to no show you versus a robot sending out a text message or an email. But just for organization purposes, Calendly's great, for all kinds of appointments. So I like Calendly a lot.
Cool, man. All right. So do you guys typically do try to do one call closes? Are you bigger proponent on setting up the appointment, or like what's your methodology on that? And is it final expense or mortgage protection mainly?
Mostly mortgage protection or
Okay.
life insurance leads. I personally have a dialer that sets appointments for me. I don't recommend, if you're new, to hire a dialer. You need to be able to dial first and be great at it to be able to train someone to be good at it. And then you
Yeah.
have to be patient, give them about, a couple months to really get the hang of it if you're going to hire a dialer. So, and pay them, 40-hour work week. So it's just a standard job that they know that's what their job is, to set appointments for you. Now, I personally do that just to save myself some time, so I can spend more time with my agents as I'm building up the agency. But if you're brand new, you don't need a dialer.
Yeah.
Dialing's 80% of it, so you got to be good at dialing the phone. I have done some one-call closes before, and the key to that is just not asking them if they have time or not. Just jumping right into it. Hey, this is going to take. Don't say it's going to take 10 minutes at all. Just, hey, we're going to get this information to you requested. Grab a pen and paper. Let me know when you're ready, and just start going into the appointment if you're going to do one call closes.
Sweet. Cool, man. Okay. So it totally changed the perspective on it. Cause as telesales, all I do is final expense telesales. So like, that's why it's like, all my assumptions are based off you doing final expense telesales. So you're mainly mortgage protection and life insurance. So that's cool. We do some mortgage protection, not really though. So final expense, it's like mainly one call close, and then the shelf life on like an age lead's a little longer. So that's where I'm like, okay, maybe like mortgage protection. I see that's cool. So the setting appointments, which makes sense. People are working, they got their stuff going on. You set it for later, or you try to do that. So okay, sweet, different products, but that's super cool because you're making it happen. And
Well, I think, the one call close is going to be, if you got time, that's, I think, a better way to go, because your no show rates are pretty high when you schedule
yeah.
appointments. But what I've noticed to reduce that no show rate is just a simple, easy text in the morning, just reminding them, "Hey, Bob, it's Ryan. Remember our appointment today? I'll be calling you between this time." That seems to reduce them down to about 30%. So if you're willing to give up that, 30% of appointments, go that route. But the one call close
Yeah,
works great too. Going right into it.
cool. And do you use Zoom or any sort of apps or anything to help if they like with illustrations, or do you just kind of they trust you because they
Nope.
like you?
Zero Zooms. I think the key for, if you had a face-to-face appointment, if you've done it in the field before, I think the key to a telesales is cut out half of it. Less is more. If you need to ask more questions, you can do that, but make it a really simple, no-brainer process. Be very assumptive. You always want to go into every single appointment like every single person buys. Any kind of objections you get, you want to scrunch your face up and be very confused, like, what, why was this guy giving me an objection? So the key to this is perspective, right? We have to be actors to be good at this. This is an amazing product. You should believe in it. Everyone should have insurance and have a backup plan. We can spend 95% of our money towards our future plans, and for 5% we can hedge our bets that 95% of that stuff that we're planning on spending our money on, the paying off the house, the new boat, whatever that case may be, kids going to college, is still going to happen for 5%, right? Or you can tell your client, or do you want to spend 100% towards all those future things? I think it's smarter to hedge our bets so that either outcome, whether I live a long time or I die, all those future things are still going to happen. So you should believe in this. It should be a no-brainer. And any kind of objections you guys get, you should be very curious of why they're happening. You want to approach it that way. And what happens is, when we're brand new, we start getting all these no's, and then we start assuming that everyone's going to say no. And then our tonality and perspective is all that route. So if you're assuming that, you're going to get no's. If you're assuming yeses all the time and approaching any objections with confusion, the client's going to feel kind of like dumb that they're saying that. Like, what, why are you saying that? No one ever tells me this. You always want to say stuff like, you're the first client out of the last 30 that's ever said that. That's weird. You're the first person that's ever said no to this. Why don't you care about your family? What's going on here, right? So you
Yeah.
want to act confused, okay? Be the actor. Everyone buys.
Okay, awesome, cool, man. Now, at this point in your career, what are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish, and what do you like? What direction do you want to head in for your the career?
My ultimate goal is obviously help more agents. That's why I'm on this call. Show them how to go and protect more families. And the reason I went remote is I have a son. He's 14, and once he's 18, I always thought it'd be cool to live anywhere in the world. And now I have a job that I can do that and make money, serving families, protecting them from anywhere in the world. So I just plan to kind of travel around. Maybe I'll be in Colombia, maybe in France, working the midnight hours, and just enjoying that I have the complete freedom to do this anywhere. And that's kind of the major reasons why I went remote. But hopefully, in 4 years, I'll have a big enough team too to help support some of that income coming in supplementally. I don't want to ever get out of the field. I enjoy actually talking to people and trying to serve them and help them out, put them in a better spot than before I talk to them as well. But hopefully I'll have some more income where I can have some more freedom too while I'm enjoying
Cool.
my remote working habits.
Cool, man. Yeah, I love that. I was thinking same thing for the freedom, and I was looking. Puerto Rico. If you're there for 6 months, remote telesales, you can you don't pay federal income tax. You pay 4% local tax in Puerto Rico. It's pretty cool.
There
So
you
I was
go.
like,
Yeah.
dude, can't beat it.
Yeah. I mean, I have a guy that's in Colombia right now, the country, that does remote down there. So it's just proof that, you can do it anywhere. I have another guy who wants to move his whole family to UK. I'm like, well, you have some odd hours, in the United
Yeah.
States
Oh
for sure.
yeah. Oh man.
But you can do it anywhere. And that's the cool part about learning to go remote. It's definitely harder. I do think you got to spend, have twice as many leads to
Mhm.
make up for the no-shows and trust factors of going telesales. But if you think about it this way, I could spend, $1,000 to make 10 grand, or let's say 11,000 gross, so 10,000 profit, or I can spend $2,000 to make 12,000 gross, 10,000 profit. Who cares? It's a wash either way. So you're spending, twice as much on your leads, but you get the convenience factor of being, in your pajamas at your house.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. It's still a profit. You're still flipping dollars. Like it's
I
it's like
mean, there's
it's
gas charges too. I mean, gas is pretty expensive right now too. Car maintenance,
depreciation.
all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff too. So you got to factor it all in.
And you can write off part of your home too if you're or like an office or
Yeah.
whatever if you're dialing in a part of your place. So I'm not an accountant. Don't take accounting advice, please. I don't need anybody coming back to me for that. But Cool. So what do you feel like is one of the biggest challenges that you may face in the growth thing? Because I do, trust me, I know how my biggest challenge is like is developing people and trying to replace myself and replicate myself in others. So that's where I am right. That me personally, that's a challenge I face. I'm trying to get better at it and be a better leader every day. But for you, what's the biggest challenge you face right now? Like if that roadblock was clear, then it'd make your life easy.
It's the same thing. I mean, that's the biggest challenge for me too, is that, people come in insurance go, oh man, this is crap. No one ever makes it. Only
Hmm.
20% of people can do it. You got 80% fall out, but no, it's not, has nothing to do with insurance. It has to do with 1099. Most
Yeah.
people need, excuse my French, if you're watching this and offends you, you're probably the ones being lazy. Some people need a daddy to tell them to get up and go to work. And you're
Yeah,
probably
literally.
a dummy too. You
Yeah.
probably need to have someone that's going to write you up if you're late to work every day, right?
Yeah.
So the biggest challenge is having the self-discipline to actually work and not make excuses and watch Netflix and go, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow or this or that. That's the biggest challenge. And you just got to keep hiring more people and find the ones that are motivated, that actually see this opportunity and ready to take it serious. Because all you got to do, I mean, this industry is very simple. You have mentors like, us discussing stuff right now, that all you got to do is copy and repeat it. But I think the biggest challenge for most people is, having control of their schedule and be
Oh,
consistent with
yep.
that week to week. And even I
I
run into that issue still. I've been doing it for 12 years. So
Yeah, man. And I just put a video out, 5 reasons why most agents fail in telesales. And like the first one, I said it's scheduling. It's like just being scheduled. And it's like some people need that. Like, and sometimes when I bring them on, I'm like if I feel like they got a lot of potential, I'm like, do I have permission to scold you if what are your goals? Okay, this is what you're gonna have to do. Okay, you cool with that? Yes. Do I have permission to hold you accountable if you don't do this? Oh yeah. Okay, cool. So, morning call, where you at? Oh, I woke up late. Cool. Well, it's like I say, like when I started, I was like, I'm a business. So I got to look myself in the mirror and say, Justin, you work for you and you got to show up for you just as like you'd expect a boss would expect you to show up for them if you went to work. So that was the perspective I took to look at it. It's like I'm my business, I'm employed by my business, I have to show up for me and my family, and if I don't show up, then so that's so key. I've seen that. I think it is the
I,
scheduling.
I think a key too, yeah. The second thing's gonna be studying, watching videos like this, making sure that, I would say when you're brand new, it's probably like, people are like, oh man, I need just to pick up the phone and dial. It's like, no, you need to spend 20 hours a week studying until you get to that point. Because I can do it in 20 hours and then still make great money. Spend 20 hours studying. Studying is part of it too. You got to sharpen that axe. It's kind of like that old expression where, this guy goes out and starts cutting trees in the woods. There's two guys and this other guy's cutting twice as much, but he went home and he thinks he's taking a nap. He's like, I don't get it. I'm working hard. I'm working like, 16-hour days. This guy's working like 5 hours and somehow he's cutting more. Well, he's going home and he's sharpening his axe. So he's more efficient when he's working. And so when we're studying by watching these videos and watching them more than once, because one time's in one ear out the other, you got to study like 5 times. When you're studying your script outside till you memorize it, you're going to have a sharper axe. You're going to be able to make more money faster. So stop getting so caught up on spending 40 hours down the phone. Spend a lot of your time actually studying from the people above you that are making the money you want to make, and copy and repeat. It's that easy.
Cool, man. Awesome. So how does someone get in touch with you if they want to work with you, or if they're interested in learning from you and learning your side of it?
Yeah, lots of good resources you can use on my website, fflrush.com. Shoot me a text, 480-330-9573. We're all here to help you win. So, whatever works, man.
Cool, man. Awesome. And also Ryan has a YouTube channel. Just what is your name, the title of your channel?
It's Ryan Reynolds, FFL Rush.
Okay. At Ryan Reynolds, FFL Rush. Cool. He's got some awesome content. I've gone through that. I've given you some watch hours. So it's cool.
Yeah.
And
I watched a couple of yours as well, man. You got some good content on there. And the rush stands for that when in 30 minutes, when you protect a family, you make $1,000. There's no better rush in the world than that, right?
you're right. I like that. I like that. That's huge, man. 100%. It's like that the high from the sale. the
Exactly.
the endorphin rush. Well, cool, man. I appreciate your time here. And I know everybody on here appreciates it too. And it's cool connecting with other people in the industry. Looking forward to speaking with you further. Anything else you want to say to people before we sign off?
That's it, guys. Final tip: stop being lazy. This is an incredible, most incredible business in the world. If you just work it, if you just put in hours and clock in, it's incredible. So it's unfortunate that most people don't put in the work to get there, but it's hard at first. But anything that's worth it in life is going to take some hard work. But you got a couple options. You got to spend money going to college, 8 years of your life to level up. You can start a business that costs a lot more than this. You can go to trade school, but all of it's going to take some time. And I think this is the fastest path to level up, as long as you put in the working and are patient with success and just follow your mentor's advice. So that's all I got for you guys.
Exactly. And that, where he said you make $1,000 in a half hour, but that goes, everybody got to understand that comes after the 20 hours of study time that he was talking about. Right. So
Per week, and that's every
yeah,
week.
per week.
Doing that every week, man, until you get to
Exactly.
that point where you're making the income you want to make. Now you can back off on your study time, but they go hand in hand.
Cool, man.
Brother,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you letting me